Uh-oh. Okay, this is one. Oh,
Hello, welcome in. It is time for a psalm a day. Welcome in. Glad you're here. Let's get in.
Okay, I need a different chair. Oh no.
Hey guys,
Oh, your breath is incredible.
I just got my teeth cleaned.
You are so brave.
Thanks. Don't know why my human won't see her dentist.
Wait, doesn't she have care credit?
The credit card?
For pets and people. It helps with all kinds of things humans put off. What about eye care for a human who might not actually see 2020? Yeah, that too. Flexible financing for health and wellness with care.
What did I do? Psalm 70? No. Psalm 69.
I still remember the bread and wine, knowing that I'd soon give up my life. The ache of betrayal,
The kiss of a stranger. Hello. Uploading my Psalm a Day video right now. After I do that, then I can go live on TikTok. So, while I wait, I figure hopefully you could hear the music. Nope. You know what? I'm just gonna go live now. Give me a second. You see if it'll allow me to go live while I'm uploading. Hope you like that song. Okay. Seeing if TikTok will let me go live right now. Probably won't. Usually when I'm uploading, it gives me issues. Yeah, it's gonna give me issues. But I don't wanna get into the reading till I'm live on both. That way both can get the word. But I don't not want to upload my psalm a day. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Let me get back into it. Close the app. Let's see if it'll let me
They
do it
found the
now.
body of Jesus.
Okay, I'm at 98% now, so go live. 3 seconds. Okay, we are live on both platforms. It'll take a minute for people to get into TikTok, but that's okay. So, if you caught my earlier live, we read in the New Testament, we stopped at Revelation. Then I opened up the Ethiopian Bible, and We'll be reading in the Ethiopian Bible. Hello. Okay. Continuing on from earlier's live, we are in the Ethiopian Bible. We are, I think it's chapter 3. Paradise and the Fall. This is the book of Jubilee. It reads, "And on the 6th day of the 2nd week, we brought according to the word of..." TikTok's going to give me problems. This is when people hear that it's the Bible, they just walk away real fast. Is it going to stay live or is it going to give me problems still? My scars really pop in the camera. Okay, I'm just going to continue. I'll wait for people to show up. Took on my sin. Tried if I had to, I'd do it again. No, this is too far. Hello, welcome in. About to get started. We're reading in the Ethiopian Bible, the book of Jubilee. I hope you stick around. I think we're in chapter 3 of the book of Jubilee. It's Paradise and the Fall. I'll get started. It reads, "On the 6th day of the 2nd week, we brought, according to the word of God, unto Adam all the beasts and all the cattle and all the birds and everything that moved on the earth, and everything that moved in the water according to their kind or their types. The beasts on the 1st day, the cattle on the 2nd day, the birds on the 3rd day, and all that which move on the earth on the 4th day, and that which moves in the water on the 5th day. And Adam named them all by their respective names, and as he called them, as so was their name. And on these 5 days Adam saw all these, male and female, according to every kind that was on the earth. But he was alone and found no helpmate for him. And the Lord said unto us, It is not good that the man should be alone. Let us make him a helpmeet for him. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon him, and he slept. And he took from him woman one rib, or took for the woman one rib, and from amongst his rib." Oh, sorry, I can't see. Where was I? Okay, from amongst his rib. And his rib was the origin of the woman from amongst his rib. And he built up the flesh in its stead, and built the woman. And he awoke Adam out of his sleep, and on awaking him arose on the 6th day, And he brought her to him, and he knew her, and he knew her, and said unto her, This is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called my wife, because she was taken from her husband. Therefore shall man and wife be one, and therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother and cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. In the first week was Adam created, and the rib, his wife, in the second week. He showed her unto him, and for this reason the commandment was given to keep in their defilement for a male 7 days, and for a female twice 7 days. For after Adam had completed 40 days in the land where he had been created, he brought him unto the Garden of Eden to till and keep it. But his wife he brought in on the 18th day. And after this, she entered into the Garden of Eden. And for this reason, the commandment is written on the heavenly tablets. In regard, for this reason. What? In regard to her that gives birth, if she bears a male, she shall remain in her uncleanness 7 days, according to the first week of days. And 33 days she shall remain in the blood of her purifying, if she shall not touch, and she shall not touch it, any hallowed thing, or enter into the sanctuary, until she accomplishes these days which are enjoined in the case of a male child. But in the case of a female child, she will remain in her uncleanness 2 weeks of days, according to the first 2 weeks, and 66 days in the blood of her purification. And they will be in all 80 days. And when she had accomplished these 80 days, we brought her into the Garden of Eden, for it is holier than all the earth besides, and every tree that is pleasant in it is holy. Therefore there was ordained regarding her who bears a male or female child the statute of those days, that she should touch no hallowed thing, nor enter into the sanctuary, unless these days of her male or female child are accomplished. This is the law and testimony which was written down for Israel in order that they should observe it all the days. And in the first week and first Jubilee. Hello, welcome in everybody. Thanks for being here. What's a fan club? Somebody joined a fan club. Okay, I don't know. I moved things around when I wasn't live, and then everything got all mixed up, so. Purification, everything in it is holy. Okay, accomplished. Okay, this is the law and testimony which was written down for Israel in order that they should observe it all the days. And in the first week of the first Jubilee, Adam and his wife were in the Garden of Eden for 7 years, tilling and keeping it. For 7 years they tilled the Garden of Eden. That's interesting. And we gave him work, and we instructed him to do everything that is suitable for tillage. And he tilled the garden, and was naked, and knew it not, and was not ashamed. And he protected the garden from the birds and the beasts and the cattle, and gathered its fruit, and ate, and put aside the residue for himself and for his wife, and put aside that which was being kept. And after the completion of the 7 years which he had completed there, 7 years exactly, 8 a.m., and in the second month, on the 17th day of the month, the serpent came and approached the woman. And the serpent said to the woman, Hath God commanded you, saying, Ye shall not eat of every tree in the garden? And she said to it, Of all the fruit of the trees and of the garden, God hath said unto us, Eat. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said to us, Ye shall not eat thereof, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for God doeth know that on the day ye shall eat thereof, your eyes will be opened, and ye will be as gods, and ye will know good and evil. And the woman saw the tree, that it was good, or no, that it was agreeable and pleasant to the eye, and that its fruit was good for food. And she took thereof and ate, and when she had first covered her shame with fig leaves, she gave thereof to Adam, and he ate. And his eyes were open, and he saw that he was naked. And he took fig leaves, and sewed them together, and made an apron for himself, and covered his shame. And God cursed the serpent and the womb with it forever. And he was wroth with the woman, because she hearkened to the voice of the serpent, and did eat. And he said unto her, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and thy pains. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy return shall be unto thy husband, and he will rule over thee. And to Adam he said, Because thou hast hearkened to the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree which I commanded thee, thou shalt not eat thereof. Cursed be the ground for thy sake. Thorns and thistles shall it bring forth to thee. And thou shalt eat thy bread in the sweat of thy face, till thou returnest to the earth, from whence thou hast or wast taken. The earth thou art, and unto earth shalt thou return. And he made for them coats of skin, and clothed them, and sent them forth from the Garden of Eden. And on that day on which Adam went forth from the Garden of Eden, he offered as a sweet savory an offering frankincense and galbanum and stas't and spices in the morning, with the rising of the sun from the day when he covered his shame. And on that day was closed the mouth of all the beasts, and of the cattle, and of the birds, and of whatever walks, and whatever moves, so that they could no longer speak. For they had all spoken one with another, with one lip, and with one tongue. And he sent out of the Garden of Eden all flesh that was in the Garden of Eden, and all flesh was scattered according to its kind, and according to its type, onto the place which had been created for them. And to Adam alone he did give the wherewithal to cover his shame. of all the beasts and cattle. On this account, it is prescribed on the heavenly tablets as touching all those who knew the judgment of the law, that they should cover their shame, and should not uncover themselves as the Gentiles uncovered themselves. And on the new moon of the 4th month, Adam and his wife went forth from the Garden of Eden, and they dwelt in the land of Elda, in the land of their creation. And Adam called the name of his wife Eve, and they had no sons till the first Jubilee, 8 a.m. And after this he knew her. Now he tilled the land as he had been instructed in the Garden of Eden. Cain and Abel. And in the 3rd week of the 2nd Jubilee, 64 through 74 a.m. I'm not sure what that means. I thought it was time until this portion. Okay, she gave birth to Cain, and in the 4th, she gave birth to Abel, and in the 5th, she gave birth to her daughter Anna. Oh no, Awan. Awan? I don't know how to say that. Oh, thank you for the likes. It's Awan. Awan. And in the 1st year, on the 3rd Jubilee, Cain slew Abel because God accepted his sacrifice over Abel's, and did not accept the offering of Cain. And he slew him in the field. And if you're just coming in, we are reading the Ethiopian Bible. We're in the book of Jubilees. His blood cried from the ground to heaven, complaining because he had slain him. And the Lord reproved Cain because of Abel, and because he had slain him. And he made him a figure on the earth because of the blood of his brother. And he cursed him upon the earth. And on his account it is written on the heavenly tablet, cursed is he who smite his neighbor treacherously. And let all who have seen and heard say, so be it. And the man who has seen and not declared it, let him be accursed as the other. And for this reason we announce when we come before the Lord our God all the sins which is committed in heaven and on earth, and in light and in darkness, and everywhere. And Adam and his wife mourned for Abel 4 weeks of years. And in the 4th year of the 5th week, they became joyful. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bore him a son, and she called his name Seth. For he said, God has raised up a second seed, a son, and he called his name, no, I missed the line. Second seed unto us on the earth instead of Abel. For Cain slew him, and in the next 6 weeks he begot his daughter Azurah. And Cain took Awan, the first name, Awan, his sister, to be his wife. And she bore him Enoch. At the close of the 4th Jubilee, in the 1st year of the 1st week of the 5th Jubilee, houses were built on the earth, and Cain built a city and called its name after the name of his son Enoch. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she bore him yet 9 sons. And in the 5th week of the 5th Jubilee, Seth took Azarah, his sister, to be his wife. And in the 4th year of the next, 4th year of the 6th week, she bore him Enos, and he began to call on the name of the Lord on the earth. The patriarchs of, or from Adam to Noah, Gen, life of Enoch, death of Adam, and gain. It's a little harder to read than normal. Okay. And the 7th Jubilee in the 3rd week, Enos took Naam, his sister, to be his wife, and she bore him a son in the 3rd year of the 5th week, and he called his name Canaan. And at the close of the 8th Jubilee, Canaan took Mahuleleth, his sister, to be his wife, and she bore him a son. In the 9th Jubilee, in the 1st week of the 3rd year of this week, and he called his name Mahalalel. And in the 2nd week of the 10th Jubilee, Mahalalel took unto him to wife Dinah, the daughter of Barakil, the daughter of his father's brother, and she bore him a son in the 3rd week in the 6th year, and he called his name Jared. And in his day the angel of the Lord ascended on the earth, those who are named the Watchers, and they should instruct the children of man, and that they should do judgment and uprightness on the earth. And in the 11th Jubilee, Jared took himself a wife, and her name was Baraka, the daughter of Resujal, the daughter of his father's brother. In the 4th week of this Jubilee, and she bore him a son in the 5th week of the 4th year of the Jubilee, and he called his name Enoch. And he was the first among men that are born on the earth, who learnt writing and knowledge and wisdom, and who wrote down the signs of heaven according to the order of their month in a book, that men might know the seasons of the year according to the order of their separate months. And he was the first to write a testimony, and he testified to the sons of man among the generations of the earth, the recount the weeks of the Jubilee, and made known to them the days of the years, and set in order the months, and recounted the Sabbaths of the years as were made them known to him, and what will be saw in a vision of his sleep, as it will happen to the children of man throughout their generations, until the day of judgment. And he saw and understood everything. He wrote his testimony, and placed the testimony on earth for all the children of man, and for their generations. And in the 12th Jubilee, in the 7th week thereof, he took to himself a wife, and her name was Edna, and the daughter of Danel, the daughter of his father's brother, in the 6th year in this week. She bore him a son, and called his name Methuselah. And he was moreover with the angels of God these 6 Jubilee of years, and they showed him everything which is on earth and in the heavens, the rule of the sun, and he wrote down everything. And he testified to the Watchers, who had sinned with the daughters of man, for these had begun to unite themselves so as to be defiled, with the daughters of man. And Enoch testified against them all, and he was taken from amongst the children of man, and counted him into the Garden of Eden in majesty and honor. And behold, there he writes down the condemnation and judgment of the world, and all the wickedness of the children of man. And on account of it, God brought the waters of the flood upon all the land of Eden. And there he was set as a sign, and that he should testify against all the children of man, that he should recount all the deeds and the generations until the day of condemnation. And he burnt the incense of the sanctuary, even sweet spices, acceptable before the Lord on the mount. For the Lord has 4 places on the earth, the Garden of Eden, the Mount of the East, and this mountain on which thou art this day, Mount Sinai, and Mount Zion, which will be sanctified in the new creation. And, nope, it doesn't say and. For a sanctification of the earth, through it will the earth be sanctified from all its guilt and its uncleanness throughout the generations of the world. And in the 14th Jubilee, Methuselah took unto himself a wife, Edna, the daughter of Azriel, the daughter of his father's brother, in the 3rd week, in the 1st year of this week. And he begat a son, and called his name Lamech. And in the 15th Jubilee, in the 3rd week, Lamech took to himself a wife, and her name was Betenos, the daughter of Barachiel, the daughter of his father's brother. And in this week she bore him a son, and she called his name Noah, saying, This one will comfort me for my trouble, and all my work, and the ground which the Lord hath cursed. And at the close of the 19th Jubilee, in the 7th week, in the 6th year thereof, Adam died, and all his sons buried him in the land of his creation. And he was the first to be buried in the earth. And he lacked 70 years of 1,000 years. For 1,000 years are as one day in the testimony of the heavens, and therefore was it written concerning the tree of knowledge, on the day that ye ate thereof, ye shall die. Therefore, nope, it doesn't say therefore. For this reason, he did not complete the years of this day, for he died during it. At the close of this Jubilee, Cain was killed after him in the same year, for his house fell upon him, and he died in the midst of his house. And he was killed by its stones. For with a stone he had killed Abel, and by a stone he was killed in righteous judgment. For this reason it was ordained on the heavenly tablets, with the instrument with which a man kills his neighbor, with the same shall he be killed, after the manner that he wounded him. In like manner shall they deal with him. And in the 25th Jubilee, Noah took himself a wife, and her name was Amazarah, the daughter of Regal, the daughter of his brother's brother, or his father's brother. In the 1st year of the 5th week thereof, she bore him Ham. And in the 1st year, in the 6th week she bore him Japheth. And it came to pass, when the children of men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and the daughters were born unto them, that the angels of God saw them on a certain year of this jubilee, that they were beautiful to look upon, and they took themselves wives of all whom they chose, and they bore unto them sons, and they were giants. And the lawlessness increased on the earth, and all flesh corrupted its way, alike men and cattle and beasts and birds and everything that walketh on the earth, all of them corrupt their ways and their order, and they began to devour each other. The lawlessness increased on the earth, and every imagination of the thoughts of all man was thus evil continually. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, and all the flesh had corrupted its orders. And all that were upon the earth had wrought all manner of evil before his eyes. And he said that he would destroy man and all flesh upon the face of the earth, which he had created. But Noah found grace before the eyes of the Lord, and against the angels whom he had sent upon the earth, he was exceedingly wroth, and he gave commandments to root them out of all their dominions, and he bade us to bind them in the depths of the earth. And behold, they are bound in the midst of them before his face, that they should be smitten with the sword, and be removed from under heaven. And he said, my spirit shall not always abode with man, or on man, for they also are flesh, and their days shall be 120 years. And he began to slay each other till all fell by the sword, and were destroyed from the earth, and their fathers were witnesses of their destruction. And after this they were bound in the depths of the earth forever, until the day of the great condemnation, when judgment is executed on all those who have corrupted their ways and their ways before the Lord. And he destroyed all from their places, and there was not left one of them whom he judged not according to all their wickedness. And he made for all his works a new and righteous nature, so that they should not sin in their whole nature forever, but should be all righteous, each in his kind, always. And the judgment of all this ordained with. Nope, doesn't say with. I'm seeing things weird. Okay, away judgment of all ordained and written on the heavenly tablets in righteousness, even the judgment of all who departed from the path which is ordained for them to walk in. And if they walk not therein, judgment is written down for every creature and for every kind. And there is nothing in heaven or on earth, or in light, or in darkness, or in Sheol, or in the depths, or in the place of darkness, which is not judged. And all their judgments are ordained and written and engraved in regard to all he will judge, and the great according to his greatness, and the small according to his smallness, and each according to his way. And he is not one who will regard the person of any, nor is he one who will receive gifts. Excuse me. If he says that he will execute judgment on each, if one gave everything that is on the earth, he will not regard the gift or the person of any, nor accept anything at his hand, for he is a righteous judge, and of the children of Israel it has been written and ordained, if they turn to him in righteousness, he will forgive all their transgressions and pardon all their sin. It is written and ordained that he will show mercy to all who turn from their guilt once each year. And as for all those who corrupt their ways and their thoughts before the flood, no man's person was accepted, save that of Noah alone. For his person was accepted on behalf of his sons, whom God saved from the waters of the flood, on his account. For his heart is righteous in all his ways, according as it was commanded regarding him, and he had not departed from aught that was ordained for him. And the Lord said that he would destroy everything which was upon the face of the earth, and both man and cattle, and beast and fowl of the air, and that which moveth on the earth. He commanded Noah to make him an ark, that he might save himself from the waters of the flood. And Noah made the ark in all respects as he commanded him, in the 27th Jubilee of years, in the fifth year, on the new moon of the first month. And he entered in the 6th year thereof, in the 2nd month, on the new moon of the 2nd month, till the 16th. And he entered, and all that he brought to him into the ark, and the Lord closed it from without on the 17th evening. And the Lord opened 7 floodgates of heaven in the mouth of the foundation of the great deep, 7 months in number. And the floodgates began to pour down water from the heaven 40 days and 40 nights. And the foundation of the deep also set up waters until the whole world was full of water, and the waters increased upon the earth. 15 cubits did the waters rise above all the high mountains. And the ark was lifted up above the earth, and it moved upon the face of the waters, and the waters prevailed on the face of the earth 5 months, 150 days. And the ark went and rested on the top of Labar, one of the mountains of Ararat. And on the new moon, in the 4th month of the month of the, rest on the top. Okay, the new moon, the foundation of the great deep were closed, and the flood gates of heaven were restrained. And on the new moon of the 7th month, all the months of the abysses of the earth were opened, and the waters began to descend upon the deep below. And on the new moon of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains were seen, and the new moon of the 1st month of the earth became visible, and the waters disappeared from above the earth. And in the 5th week, in the 7th year thereof, and on the 17th day of the 2nd month, and the earth was dry. And on the 27th thereof he opened the ark, and sent forth from it beasts and cattle and birds and everything and every moving thing. Wow, thank you guys for all the likes. Glad you're here. Hope you're enjoying the Ethiopian Bible, the Book of Jubilees. We're on chapter 6, I believe. Noah's sacrifice. God's covenant with him. Okay. And on the new moon of the 3rd month, he went forth from the ark and built an altar on that mountain. And he made an atonement for the earth. And he took the kid and made an atonement by its blood for all the guilt of the earth, for everything that had been on it had been destroyed, save those that were in the ark with Noah. And he placed the fat thereof on the altar, and he took an ox and a goat, and a sheep and kids, and salt, and a turtle dove and a young of the dove, and placed a burnt sacrifice on the altar, and poured thereon an offering mingled with oil, and sprinkled wine, and strewed frankincense over everything, and caused a goodly savor to rise, acceptable before the Lord. And the Lord smelt the goodly savor, and he made a covenant with him that there should not be any more a flood to destroy the earth, that all the days of the earth seed time and harvest should never cease. Cold and hot, and summer and winter, and the days and nights shall not change their order, nor cease forever. And you increase, ye multiply on the earth, and be many upon it, and be blessed, or be a blessing upon it. And the fear of you and the dread of you I will inspire in everything that is on the earth and in the sea. And behold, I have given you unto all the beasts, and all the winged things, and everything that moves on the earth, and the fish in the waters, and all. Oh, I really lost my place. Oh, and all things for food. Yeah. As the green herbs, I have given you all things to eat, but flesh, with the life thereof, with the blood, ye shall not eat. For the life of all flesh is in the blood, lest your blood of your lives be required. At the hand of every man, at the hand of every beast, I will require the blood of man. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God made he man, and you increase ye and multiply on the earth. And Noah and his sons swore that they would not eat any blood that was in any flesh. And he made a covenant before the Lord God forever throughout all the generations of the earth, in this month. On this account he spake unto thee, that thou shouldest make a covenant with the children of Israel in this month upon the mountain with an oath, and that thou shouldest sprinkle blood upon them, because of all the words of the covenant which the Lord made with them forever. And this testimony is written concerning you, that you should observe it continually, so that you should not eat on any day any blood of beasts or birds or cattle during all the days of the earth. And the man who eats the blood of beasts or cattle or of birds during all the days of the earth, He and his seed shall be rooted out of the land. And thou, nope, and do thou command the children of Israel to eat no blood, so that their names and their seed may be before the Lord our God continually. And for this law there is no limit of days, for it is forever. They shall observe it throughout their generations, so that they may continue supplicating on your behalf with blood before the altar every day at the time of morning and evening. They shall seek forgiveness on your behalf perpetually before the Lord, that they may keep it and not be rooted out. And he gave to Noah and his sons a sign that there should not again be a flood on the earth. He set his bow in the cloud, and for a sign of the eternal covenant, that there should not again be a flood on the earth to destroy all the days of the earth. For this reason it is ordained and written on the heavenly tablets that they should celebrate the Feast of Weeks in this month once a year, to renew the covenant every year. And this whole festival was celebrated in heaven from the day of creation till the day of Noah, 26 jubilees and 5 weeks of years, days, or years. What? 26 jubilees and 5 weeks of years, days of creation till the day. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. My eyes are horrible right now. Okay, weeks. And Noah and his son observe it for 7 jubilees and 1 week of years, till the day Noah's death. And from the day of Noah's death, his sons did away with it until the day of Abraham, and they ate blood. But Abraham observed it, and Isaac and Jacob and his sons observed it up to the days. And in thy days the children of Israel forgot it until they celebrated it anew on this mountain. And do thou command the children of Israel to observe this festival in all their generations for a commandment unto them. 1 day in a year, in this month, they shall celebrate the festival. For it is the feast of weeks and the feast of first fruits. This feast is twofold and a double nature, according to what is written and engraved concerning it. Celebrate it. For I have written in the book of the first law, and that which I have written for thee, that thou shouldest celebrate it in its season, 1 day in the year. And I explained to this its sacrifices, that the children of Israel should remember and should celebrate it throughout their generations in this month, 1 day in every year, and on the new moon of the first month, and on the new moon of the 4th month, and on the new moon of the 7th month, and on the new moon of the 10th month, are the days of remembrance, and the days of the seasons in 4 divisions of the year. These are written in ordained as a testimony forever, and Noah ordained them for himself as feasts for the generations forever, so that they have become thereby a memorial unto him. And a new moon of the 1st month he was bidden to make for himself an ark, and on that day the earth became dry, and he opened the ark, and saw the earth, and on the new moon of the 4th month the mouth of the deeps of the abyss breatheth. Oh no, beneath were closed. And on the new moon of the 7th month, months of all mouths of the abyss of the earth were opened, and the waters began to descend into them. And on the new moon of the 10th month, the top of the mountains were seen, and Noah was glad. And on the account he ordained them for himself as feasts for a memorial forever. And thus are they ordained, and they pleased them. And they placed them on the heavenly tablets. Each had 13 weeks. From one to another passed their memorial, from the first to the second, and from the second to the third, and from the third to the fourth. And all the days of the commandments will be 250 weeks of days, and these all will make the entire year complete. Thus it is engraved and ordained on the heavenly tablets, and there is no neglecting these commandments for a single year or from year to year. And command thou the children of Israel that they observe the years according to this reckoning, 364 days. And these will constitute a complete year, and they will not disturb its time from its day and from its feast, for everything will fall out in them according to their testimony, and they will not leave out any day nor disturb any feast. But if they do neglect and do not observe them according to his commandments, then they will disturb all their seasons, and the years will be dislodged from their order, and they will disturb the seasons, and the years will be dislodged, and they will neglect their ordinances. And all the children of Israel will forget and will not find the path of the years, and will forget the new moon and seasons and Sabbaths. And they will go wrong as to all the order of the years. For I know, and from henceforth I declare it unto thee, and it is not of my own devising. For the book lies within before me, and on the heavenly tablets the division of days is ordained, lest they forget the feast of the covenant, and walk according to the feast of the Gentiles after their error and after their ignorance. For there will be those who will assertedly make observation of the moon, how it disturbs disturbs the season, and comes in from year to year 10 days too soon. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. I lost my place. Okay, 10 days soon. For this reason, the years will come upon when they will disturb the order and make an abominable day, the day of testimony, and an unclean day of feast day. And they will confound all the days, the holy with the unclean, and the unclean day with the holy. For they will go wrong as to the months on and Sabbath and feasts and jubilee. For this reason I command and testify to thee, that thou mayest testify to them. For after thy death thy children will disturb them, so that they will not make the year 364 days only. And for this reason they will go wrong as to the new moons and seasons and Sabbaths and festivals, and they will eat all kinds of blood with all kinds of flesh. Hey, welcome in, everybody. We are reading the Ethiopian Bible. We are in the book of Jubilee. We just finished up chapter 6. We're going to start chapter 7. But I need to rest my eyes because the words are all blurring together and it's getting harder to read. Yeah. How's everybody doing today? Everybody having a good day? I don't know if you can tell, my eyes are tired right now. Everything started blending together. I could barely see the words. You know what's weird? Every time I vape on while I'm live streaming, yep, there it goes. Like I vaped quite a few times on this live, on this one. Shakeem, welcome in. We're reading the Ethiopian Bible. We're in the book of Jubilees right now. We just finished up chapter 6. We're about to start chapter 7 once I rest my eyes a little bit, because it's set for all ages. Oh, I don't even know how to set that or change the setting. Oh, sorry, I'm talking to someone on TikTok. I don't know how to change it, so I just leave it the way it was set up. I don't care if it restricts it. But yeah, my eyes are straining right now. Now, how's everybody doing? Everybody having a blessed day? Okay. You know, while I'm resting, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. I'm gonna flush my eyes too. Here, listen to some music. This is a good song.
I still remember the bread and wine, knowing that I'm soon
You guys like that song? I like that song. Anyways, I'm back. Let's get back into it. I think my eyes are good enough now. I'll be right back. Was that you, Lil? It was just my daughter. Oh, okay. Let me refresh my sponge. Okay. So, Book of Jubilee, chapter 7. If you guys have the Ethiopian Bible and you have the Book of Jubilee and you want to follow along, that'd be cool. It reads, in the 7th week in the 1st year, therefore, in this Jubilee, Noah planted vines on the mountain on which the ark had rested, named Lubar, one of the Ariat mountains, and they produced fruit in the 4th year. And he guarded their fruit and gathered it in this year in the 7th month. And he made wine thereof and put it into vessels and kept it until the 5th year, until the 1st day on the new moon of the 1st month. And he celebrated with joy and the day of the feast. And he made a burnt sacrifice unto the Lord, 1 young ox, 1 ram, 7 sheep, each a year old, and a kid of the goat, that he might make atonement thereby for himself and his son. And he prepared the kid first, and placed some of his blood on the flesh that was on the altar, which he had made. And all the fat he laid on the altar where he had made the burnt sacrifice, and the ox and the ram and the sheep. And he laid all their flesh upon the altar, and he placed all their offerings mingled with oil upon it. And afterward he sprinkled wine on the fire which he had previously made on the altar. And he placed incense on the altar, and caused a sweet savor to ascend acceptable before the Lord his God. And he rejoiced and drank his wine, he and his children, with joy. And it was evening. He went inside his tent, and being drunken, he lay down and slept, and was uncovered in his tent as he slept. And Ham saw Noah his father naked, and went forth and told his 2 brothers without. And Shem took his garment and arose, and he and Japheth. And they placed the garment on their shoulders, and went in backwards, and covered the shame of their father, and their faces were backward. And Noah awoke from his sleep, and knew all that his youngest son had done unto him. And he cursed his son, and said, Cursed be Canaan, and enslaved servants shall he be unto his brothers. And blessed Shem, and said, Blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. God shall enlarge Japheth, and God shall dwell in the dwelling of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And Ham knew that his father had cursed his younger son, and he was displeased that he had cursed his son, and he parted from his father, he and his sons with him, Cush and Mizraim, and Put and Canaan. And he built for himself a city, and called its name after the name of Canaan. And he built for himself, what? I'm sorry, I skipped something somewhere. And he built for himself a city, and called it after the name of his wife, Neelatama. Ook. I'm not even gonna attempt to do that one again. Yeah. Okay. Then Japheth saw it, and became envious of his brother, and he too built for himself a city, and he called its name after the name of his wife, Adadasen, what? Adatanesis. See, that one's easier than the other one. And Shem dwelt with his father Noah, and he built a city close to his father on the mountain, and he too called the name after the name of his wife, Seb Sedek. Yeah, Sedequetel Lebab. Yeah, that's a hard one. Okay. And behold, these three cities were near Mount Labar. Sedequetelebab, fronting the mountain on its east, and Ne El Tamauk on the south, and Adatanesus towards the west. And these are the sons of Shem, Ham, and Ashur, and Arpachshad. This son was born 2 years after the flood, and Lud and Aram, the sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, and Madai, and Javan, Tubal, and Meshech, and Turus. These are the sons of Noah. And in the 28th Jubilee, Noah began to enjoin upon his sons, and obedience and commandments, and all the judgments that he knew. And he exhorted his sons to observe righteousness, and to cover the shame of their flesh, and to bless their Creator, and honor father and mother, and love their neighbor, and to bless their Creator, and to guard their souls from fornication and uncleanness and all iniquity. For owing to these three things came the flood upon the earth, namely owing to the fornication thereon, which the watchers against the law of their obedience went a whoring after the daughters of man, and took themselves wives, and all which they chose. See, the other day I was in somebody's live, and they were talking about, or no, somebody came into my life, and they were talking about basically the flood, why God destroyed everybody. He said it was for humans being gay, but it says it in the Bible and in here that it was because the Nephilim corrupted man, and that's why it was all destroyed. Not because they were just homosexuals. It was because of the Nephilim and the things that they were doing. They were sacrificing babies. Men were sleeping with men, women with women, and there was a Nephilim. And the Nephilim taught people all sorts of wicked and evil things. So, or not the Nephilim, I guess the guardians taught them bad stuff. And in all their hearts was pure evil. Nothing good came from them. That's why they were destroyed. Not just because they were homosexuals. If that was the case, there's more homosexuals now than there ever was before. I don't see why the world wouldn't be destroyed now. But he did promise that he wouldn't do it with a flood. But he could burn everything. But there are more homosexuals out there now, and weird stuff going on where guys think they're girls and girls think they're guys, and they think they could be a guy and a girl at the same time, and they're he, she's, theys, and thems, and all that weird. Let's not get into all that. Let's continue reading. Okay. Let me find out where I was. May God, Creator, waters. whoring after the daughters of men, and they took them wives of all which they chose, and they made the beginning of uncleanness, and they begat sons, the Nephidim, Nephidim, Nephidim. And they were all alike, and they devoured one another, and giants slew the Nephilim, and the Nephilim slew the Eljo, and the Eljoy, mankind, and one another, and every one sold himself to work iniquity, and shed much blood. And the earth was filled with iniquity. And after this they sinned against the beasts and the birds, and all that move and walk on the earth. And much blood was shed on the earth, and every imagination and desire of man imagined vanity and evil continually. And the Lord destroyed everything from off the face of the earth because of the wickedness of their deeds. See, just everything I just said, it confirms it right there. Off the face of the earth because of the wickedness of their deeds, and because of the blood which they had shed in the midst of the earth. He destroyed everything, and we were left, and I and you, my sons, and everything that entered with us into the ark. And behold, I see your works before me, and ye do not walk in righteousness, for in the path of destruction ye have begun to walk, and ye are parting one from another, and are envious one another of another. And so it comes that ye are not in harmony, my sons, each with his brother. For I see, and behold, the demons have begun their seduction against you and against your children. And now I fear on your behalf that after my death ye shall shed blood of man upon the earth, and that ye too will be destroyed from the face of the earth. For whoso sheddeth man's blood, and whoso eateth the blood of any flesh, shall all be destroyed from the earth. And there shall not be left any man that eateth blood, or that sheddeth blood of man on the earth, nor shall there be left to him any seed or descendants living under heaven. For unto Sheol shall they go, and into the place of condemnation shall they descend, and into the darkness of the deep shall they all be removed by a violent death. There shall be no blood seen upon all the blood there that shall blah blah blah, and shall place remove violent death. There shall be no blood seen upon you of all the blood there shed shall be all the days in which ye have killed any beast or cattle or whatever flies upon the earth, and work ye a good work to your soul by covering that which has been shed on the face of the earth, and ye shall be like him who eats with blood. And guard yourselves that none may eat blood before children, together with all flesh, and suffer not the soul to be eaten with flesh, that your blood, which is your life, may not be required at the hand of any flesh that sheds it on the earth. For the earth will be clean from the blood which has been shed upon it. For only through blood of him that sheds it will the earth be purified throughout all its generations. And now, my children, hearken, work judgment and righteousness, that ye may plant in righteousness over the face of the whole earth, and your glory lift up before God, who saved me from the waters of the flood. And behold, ye will go and build for yourselves cities, and plant in them all the plants that are upon the earth, and moreover all the fruit-bearing trees. For 3 years the fruit of everything that is eaten is not to be gathered. In the 4th year its fruit will be accounted holy, and they will offer the first fruit acceptable before the Most High God, who created heaven and earth and all things. Let them offer in abundance the first of the wine and oil, first fruits on the altar of the Lord, who receives it, and what is left, let the servants of the house of the Lord eat before the altar which receives it. And in the 5th year make ye the release, so that ye release it in righteousness and uprightness, and ye shall be righteous, and all that you plant shall prosper. For thus did Enoch, and the father of your father, commanded Methuselah his son, and Methuselah his son Lamech, and Lamech commanded me all the things which his father commanded him. And I also will give you commandments, my sons, as Enoch commanded his sons in the first Jubilee, whilst still living. The 7th in his generation he commanded and testified to his sons and to his sons' sons until the day of his death. I think I'm going to stop right there. My eyes are stressing. But we are going to complete the Ethiopian Bible this time. Last time I stopped because I started in the book of I read the book of Enoch, 1st and 2nd book of Enoch, and then I stopped after that. But this time, I got to find a way to make this space a little more open. It's kind of tight. I only got, from here to here of space behind me till I hit the wall. But what was I saying? Oh, this time we're going to read cover to cover on the Ethiopian Bible. I'm going to do my best to find other books that were taken out of the Bible. I have this book. It says it's the lost books of the Bible. This one is very, very hard to read because the words are so small. It is very hard for me to see it. But this one has, let me go through it. The books: Mary, the Protevangelion, I can't say that word. Infancy, 2nd book of Infancy, Christ and Abgarus, Nicodemus, the Apostles' Creed, Laodicean, Paul and Seneca, Paul and Thecla, Clement, 2nd Clement, Barnabas, Ephesians, Magnesians, Romans, Philadelphians, Philadelphians. I can't see that one. Polycarp, Philippians, Hermas, visions, Hermas, commands, Hermas, salutation, nope. I can't see that. I can't see it. Letters of Herod and Pilate, the Lost Gospel according to Peter, Table 1 and Table 2. Yeah. Yeah. So I have these, but like I said, this book is hard to read, especially a lot of the words. They're so small, but they printed it in bold, some of the letters, so you can't tell what the word actually says. I think it's just the way it was printed. I don't think it. Yeah. Look how small those words are. They are super, super small. I think I need a magnifying glass just to read it. Maybe I'll get a magnifying glass and we will read it. I don't know. But that's all the books I have. I do have these two. I don't plan on reading them. Global War on Freedom is called The Great Controversy. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever read this one. I have it. Yeah, and this one, Peace Above the Storm. Freedom from Worry, Guilt, and Fear. I'll probably never read that one. But yeah, we'll on the next live we'll continue on in the Ethiopian Bible. We'll finish up Revelation, and yeah, we'll just keep going and keep reading and keep getting in the Word of God and see where it takes us. I hope you guys are enjoying. I hope you guys like the lives and the videos. I still got to upload videos for today. I still need to upload the Psalm a day, read the Bible, and the cover to cover. The only thing I've uploaded was the daily devotional, and on Facebook and YouTube I uploaded the cover or the chapter a day. But yes, still three more videos to come out today. Yeah, really hope you guys enjoy. Hope God blesses you all. Keep seeking His will. Get out there and spread His word to your friends, family, coworkers, strangers, anyone you see. Have a charitable heart. You see a homeless person or someone in need water or food, don't be afraid and don't be ashamed to help them out. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get off of here because my eyes are hurting. Yeah. Maybe I didn't get enough sleep. But God bless you all. I love you. Have a good day. Bye.